Nutrition and energy. The study of the interactions among organisms and between organisms and their environments is called ecology. Ecologists are scientists who conduct research in the field and in the laboratory. There they try to understand how ecology helps people make decisions about environmental issues, as well as studying the relationships among living and non-living factors at all levels, including organisms, populations, communities, ecosystems, and the biosphere. The main biotic or non-living factor that is studied when following energy is sunlight. The sun provides light and warmth and is the energy source for almost all ecosystems on Earth. Sunlight powers photosynthesis by plants, which are the main producers in most land ecosystems. In water environments, sunlight provides energy for photosynthetic producers such as algae. Organisms that use sunlight or energy stored in chemical compounds to make food are called autotrophs. Auto means self and troph means feeder. Autotrophs use the food they make to carry out their own life functions. An organism's energy role is determined by how it obtains energy and how it interacts with organisms. Autotrophs, or an organism that can make its own food, is called a producer. Producers are the source of all the food in an ecosystem. Some producers have cells that capture energy from sunlight and use it to make food. This process is called photosynthesis. Examples of organisms that use photosynthesis are plants, algae, and cyanobacteria. Autotrophs that live far from the sun, for example, those that live like at the bottom of the ocean, make their own food by capturing chemical energy, such as these tube worms on the slide. These are found near volcano vents, and the process of creating energy with chemicals is called chemosynthesis. These tube worms are chemosynthetic because they make their own food from the bacteria that is expelled, or they have bacteria that takes the chemicals from what is expelled out of the volcano vents and turn it into energy. We know that plants manufacture their own food through the process of photosynthesis, but not all organisms, like bears, bees, and humans, for example, can make their own food. An organism that cannot make its own food is called a heterotroph, or a consumer. Many heterotrophs obtain food by eating other organisms or the remains of those organisms. If an ecosystem had only producers and consumers, the raw materials of life would stay locked up in wastes and the bodies of dead organisms. Luckily, there are organisms and ecosystems that prevent this problem, and decomposers are what they are. Decomposers break down wastes and dead organisms and return the raw materials to the ecosystem. You can kind of think of decomposers like fungus and bacteria as kind of nature's recyclers. Now, consumers that eat only plants are called herbivores, such as a caterpillar or a deer. Those that eat only animals are considered called carnivores, like a lion or a spider. Consumers that eat both plants and animals are omnivores, and these include bears, some birds, and most humans. Detrivores, or scavengers, eat large amounts of decaying material and excrete nutrients. They differ from decomposers, who consume nutrients externally on a molecular level and do not eat their food. Okay, now it's time to show what you know.